Hello everyone, Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can increase your open rates and your click-through rates if you're a political candidate and you're using mass text messaging. Now, that being said, this can also be used by a brand, by an organization, a celebrity, anybody that's using mass text messaging. You'll see why when I go through the demo, but today's demo is going to be for a fictitious political candidate, just so you get an idea. So the first step, the first thing you need to do, this is pretty much everything that matters for this strategy, is you need to get new SMS subscribers to download your vCard. What is a vCard? A vCard is essentially like a contact file. Contact file includes things like a name, an image, like the face of the person, the phone number so it can be identified. Most of the people in your phone, your friends and family, they have a contact file or a vCard within your phone. Now, most political candidates, at least the ones that I've seen out there, most brands, most organizations that are using mass text messaging, they don't have a vCard associated with their short code number. So when it comes in, a message, it just comes from a 5 or 6 digit phone number, and usually there's like a little gray man, which I'll show you in a little bit. The tactic here is how do you essentially replace all that, the phone number, the 5 digit phone number, the little gray man icon, and really make it custom so that people open it and then they know who it's from, they feel safer, and hopefully they click on the message. So let me walk you through, I'm gonna step over here. Let me walk you through this process, show you how it works. So first off, I'm gonna throw an opt-in process up on the screen here. Okay, so as you can see here, this is pretty typical. Somebody texts the word, a keyword, Bart, and I'm gonna use Bart Simpson. Let's say he's running for president in 2024. So Bart Simpson's running, people text Bart to the short code. They get a message back saying, thanks for joining this SMS campaign. Usually that's kind of the standard opt-in process. Now what I want you to do, if you're a political candidate or anybody else, is you want to encourage new subscribers to download the vCard to their phone. So as you can see up here, there's a little thing that says Bart Simpson for president, looks like a little contact, file. All the consumer needs to do is click on that little file. It opens a new page. Depending on what kind of phone they have, most of the time it's like very simple. It's a little button that says add to phone. That's all. That's all you need to get them to do. And I would encourage you, this is pretty critical actually. So if you look at the very, very bottom down here, it says click above and add my contact information to your phone so you don't miss any messages from me. It's very important to give them some reason to download this file. If you don't give them a reason, most likely they're not going to do it. I like hey, if you don't do this, you're not going to hear from me, or you might miss my messages, something along those lines. Now, why are we encouraging people to download these vCards? Well, let me show you. So I'm going to, right now, post up a message of what it looks like if you get a text message from a political candidate from a short code. So as you can see, it's coming from a 5 or 6 digit phone number, and it's really hard to tell kind of who this is. Okay, so let's get that out of there, and let's put in the message from a political candidate that I've downloaded the vCard from. Okay, as you can see, that looks way better, don't you think? The name of the candidate is right there. So that is much better than a 5 or 6 digit random phone number. Now I know exactly who's text messaging me. Most likely then I'm going to be more encouraged to open that message on my phone. Okay, so now let's go to the next screen. So as you can see here, I have a bunch of messages from brands. Maybe your friends and family would be in here. Which one stands out? The one with the image and the one that says the candidate's name and what they're running for, rather than all those 5 or 6 digit phone numbers. So that makes it stand out too. So you're gonna get higher open rates and people clicking through to actually see the message if you add the vCard. So now let's look at the actual message. So I open the message on my mobile phone. So that is going to be what it looks like just from a short code, and I have not downloaded the vCard. As you can see, it's not the best experience. You got the little gray person up there. You have, it just shows the phone number. Most people don't identify phone numbers. with candidates. It just doesn't make any sense. So with the vCard though, look at that. So now you have both the image of the person. Now it's very important that you test things. So test, I usually recommend, if it's a person, try to get a good color behind the person so that it kind of pops. Make sure it doesn't cut off their head or anything. If it's a brand, try to figure out how to make your logo, round, or, the exterior of the logo round, and then put your logo in the middle with maybe a background color. Really test it to make sure it makes sense, and test it on Android and iPhone, obviously. So as you can see here, you have the image, and the image really pops on the screen. And then you have, again, the candidate's name with, what they're running for. So all these brand impressions. Now this is going to increase click-through rates because people are going to feel confident that this is actually who, they say they are. Because, in your phone, really, the people that show up with photos and names are friends and family. And now as a political candidate, if you can show up with your face and your name, that's going to get you much higher click-through rates in the message. So to recap, the first thing you need to do is when people opt in, you need to get them to download the vCard. Create the vCard, obviously, make sure the name looks good, make sure the image looks really good on both Android, and iPhone. So do some testing, definitely. Also give them some kind of reason for them to download the vCard. It's essential that they do that. So you want to give them some kind of reason. Once they've done that, you're going to increase the open rates and the click-through rates because the message is going to show up much more clean. It's going to be identifiable on the phone. And then when they actually open the message, it's going to give them more confidence in clicking through to wherever you're taking them. So hopefully that helps. Again, this can be used by brands, organizations, political candidates, anybody that is using mass text messaging. Again, my name is Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. This has been a tip on how to use vCards to increase open rates and conversions. And if you want more of these kind of tips, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Tatango.